We are back with another episode of From the Rafters. Sam and I are here recording on Saturday, September 18th. About a week since our last episode, and we got plenty of Celtics and NBA news to cover, as well as later on we're going to go over ESPN's yearly predictions. They ask a panel, they go over stuff like awards, records, and stuff like that. So that's what we got today. Starting off, Marcus Smart making absolute waves on Twitter yesterday, coming at John Adams, the second president of the United States, for no apparent reason. And it got John Adams trending on Twitter, which I thought was absolutely hilarious. What a legend Marcus Smart is.
Marcus Smart, by the way, he liked my tweet about him doing the KG chest pound at the retirement day and then unliked it. I think
brutal.
If he does it, I'm going to take credit for it because I planted the seed at the very least. He saw it. He acknowledged it.
Mm-hmm.
I was very excited. I'm upset that he revoked his like, though.
He took it back.
He took it back.
But yeah, John Adams trending on Twitter. What'd you make of those? I love the tweet. It was just funny to see John Adams.
It is funny. Like, people reacted to it, and I believe it was somebody, Celtics, like it wasn't a national thing yet, had reacted to it. And was like, oh, like John Adams, somebody, he was like, oh, somebody's gonna Photoshop me with like 17th century like threads or something like that. And they all started rolling in.
Yep.
Marcus is very unique on Twitter because he'll actually like interact with people. You don't see that a lot other than like KD, but he's doing it because he's upset.
I love KD on Twitter though. That's
I like him too. I wish more people were like that. I think it should be more like accepted that athletes.
They're people. Like they can do whatever they want. It's fun. ESPN picked it up. All the major networks has the highlights. Saw it all over Instagram. And then my favorite tweet I sent to you came from this. I think he's an intern. His name is Roger Sherman, intern at The Ringer. Professional internsman is his bio. He tweeted, Ben Simmons, John Adams, the handshake, 76ers, the NBA players don't respect, which was it's just the perfect tweet. Like, that's elite.
Yeah,
it's just
an
amazing tweet. Shout out to Roger Sherman. Amazing tweet. Moving on, next piece of news. We'll stay with the Celtics for now. Dennis Schroeder is going to wear number 71 in Boston.
Yes.
Posted that on his Instagram story. Let fans vote, apparently, on the number he's going to wear, which I didn't see until it was over.
He had them vote on his app. Mm-hmm. It was 8.
He has an app?
I guess so. I don't know why he would have an app, but he does.
Gotcha.
It was like between 8. I'm not sure if there was another one before 71. I think 86 was one, 93 and 96.
Mm-hmm. Gotcha.
If I got that all right, I should get a medal. That's I don't know very random.
Yeah, I don't know the significance between 71. I just know that it's what
just flipped. His number flipped. 17 flipped.
Okay, that makes sense, I suppose. I believe Keith Smith tweeted first Celtics ever to wear 71 in history, if it does end up being his number. So you have that.
Do you think they should do something with the retired numbers?
They're going to have to eventually, because they're going to run out if they keep retiring people's numbers at some point.
It's hard. I was thinking about this today because I knew we were doing a show. And if I feel like some numbers should stay retired, but then others, their name should just be up there or something like that.
Yeah, it depends. I feel like
it's hard for you to pick.
Yeah, because there's got to be tiers of it.
Like, how is it fair to whoever that theirs is worn again?
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, you always see some players ask former players, "Hey, do I have your permission to wear this number?" And they'll usually say yes. But it's just the Celtics, I think, are in the worst spot in that regard because they've just retired so many numbers at this point. Like, the only number 1 to 10 that can be worn right now, I think 9's available, 7's available because of Jalen's wearing it. 8's there,
4.
But there's no 1, 2, 3, all those low ones.
Yeah,
are
1, 2,
gone.
and 3. 5 is done now, which it's been done. No one's worn it since KG, anyways.
Yep. 6 is done.
6 will stay retired though, regardless.
100%. Is 10 gone?
10 is JoJo White. That one's gone.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So 11,
so
12, 13, and then
there's
14.
Just a lot of numbers.
14 through 19 are all gone.
33 is gone. Is 23 gone?
23 is gone. 21, 22, 23, 24, 25 are all gone. Then 26 to 30 are all fine. 31, 32, 33, 34, 35 are all gone.
Mm-hmm.
And then
it's just a lot.
I think 35 is the highest one.
Okay. It's just a lot. Like they're gonna need to
It
cut
is a
down
lot. I
eventually at some point.
agree. I wonder what the solution is to that. It's hard. Like we said, like how do you fairly decide that?
Mhm. I don't know. At some point, if the NBA runs for long enough, they'll have to make a decision. But staying with kind of Celtics, Isaiah Thomas getting a workout with one of your favorite teams, the Golden State Warriors, at some point
Good for
soon,
him.
which will be good. We'll jump into some NBA, general NBA stuff now. Aaron Gordon signed an absolutely massive
He got,
extension with the Nuggets. Did you see that?
he got paid so much money. 93 million.
4 years, 92. Yeah,
Do
wild,
you think he's worth it?
wild.
I don't. I don't
I
think
I
that's
I wouldn't trade Marcus Smart for him at the deadline like last year, and he got paid more than Marcus Smart. So no, I don't think it's worth it.
yeah.
I guess it depends because he does fit super well with the Nuggets. Like he fits with that team to a T. So I guess they had to overpay to keep him, and now it's going to be what Jamal Murray, Jokic, Aaron Gordon, Michael Porter Jr. for the immediate future. That's a good young core, right? That I could see that core
Yeah.
winning a championship in a couple years once these super teams are gone. So
At least be
it's tough.
competitive. They should
Exactly.
be. They made the Western Conference Finals in the bubble.
Hmm.
Murray when he comes back is going to help them. I don't know
They made
about
the
Gordon.
second
It's
round
just
this
like
year without Murray.
I feel like he's almost a role player on that team. Like, you know what I mean? Like he's not
Yeah,
I wouldn't consider
yeah,
him a star player and he's getting paid a lot to just be
yeah.
that's what, 22?
24 almost 24 mil. Yeah, no,
Yeah.
23. Yeah, that's a lot of money. But like I said, he is their go-to defensive guy. Like he's the best defender on that whole team, perimeter and paint defense. He's could be a good three-point shooter if he gets his, shooting numbers up. He just fits really well with that team. So it's interesting. They paid him a lot of money, but it could be worth it if they win a championship. It's kind of like the Drew Holiday thing. Like when the Bucks paid Drew Holiday, I thought that was a terrible contract, but I mean they won a championship, so what am I going to say about it now?
Yeah, you
So
can pay
it's
for
tough.
fit. You're absolutely right.
Mhm.
In that
I,
situation makes sense. I think the Marcus Smart situation makes sense, especially since they've kind of pivoted themselves to be able to make a run at Beal or
yep,
since the last
Levine,
time we spoke, Levine, who
Levine.
I'd have to start defending.
Mhm.
I'd have to
I
180
think
on
Levine
Levine.
would be a good. I think he'd be the same fit as Bradley Beal on the Celtics.
Yeah,
If,
and I
if
think
anything, I think he'd be a better fit, and maybe that's a hot take.
I don't. I just know he's younger than Beal is,
He's a
but
much
not
more
by too
efficient
much.
shooter. He's a better shooter. I'll give him that. Zach LaVine is a much more efficient shooter. Let me go
But
over some
either
stats for
either
you.
of those guys, they're in position to be able to get via sign and trade.
Hmm. Yeah. Bradley Beal last season, obviously he was taking more. I don't even know if he was taking more shots than Levine. I'll take a look at that as well. Last season, Zach LaVine attempted 19.4 shots a game. Beal attempted 23. So, I mean, Beal
That is
attempted
a
more.
lot of
That
shots.
is a lot of
That's
shots.
outrageous.
Now,
Given
Bradley
their
Beal's.
situations, it makes sense. But
Mhm.
geez, that's a lot of
Yeah, I
shots.
mean, even 20 for Zach LaVine on the Bulls is a lot, roughly 20. Beal's shooting splits were 48.5%, pretty good. 34.9% from three, which is not great, but it's not bad. And then 88.9% from the line. Levine shot 50.7% from the field, 41.9% from three, and 84.9% from the line. So uh, Levine's the more efficient shooter. I would argue that would make him a better fit. I mean, you could say, do you need much more shot creation with
No,
Jalen Brown,
you
Jason
absolutely
Tatum?
don't.
So
I was about to say
that's what I'm
that.
saying.
And if you're talking about fit, I don't really know if how
Neither of
much
them,
of the
really.
ball
I,
Levine's going to
I don't
need if
think
he's in a spot up. Like he can probably catch and shoot just fine.
he'd
So
probably
can Beal.
be, yeah, he'd probably be the Klay Thompson of the Celtics without the defense, to be honest. I mean, and Zach LaVine's not a terrible defender. He's just not very,
He's
very good.
athletic enough to be a
But
good defender, so I don't know what the
yeah,
excuse is.
he could put a little work there. And he's only 26 and Beal is 28. So a little 2-year age gap there for you. But anyways, moving on. Next up, I have uh, Minnesota Timberwolves news. Very small. We don't have to get into it. They have announced that Karl Anthony Towns and Anthony Edwards are off the table in a Ben Simmons trade, meaning they could end up trading D'Lo to the
So
Sixers. And I
what
think
they're
that's
saying is they
good
don't
for them.
want Ben Simmons.
Hey, I
No,
think they
but
could
if
still win
I'm
a
them,
championship.
I agree. I don't think I would. You're trying to build your team. You're not trying to take pieces out. And that's the problem with Ben Simmons. I think universally is
Mm-hmm.
Philadelphia wants the bang for their buck,
Yeah.
which would be somebody of the same caliber, and teams that would want him, even if you want to put the Celtics in there because they've been thrown around, it has been mentioned. Philadelphia would probably want Jaylen Brown, and the Celtics wouldn't want to do that. It wouldn't make any sense.
Yeah, it's just tough.
He's like a third piece, and I don't think anybody's willing to give up a second or first piece to get him, and I don't think Philly's going to find what they want.
The two teams, maybe three, that could probably get away with a Ben Simmons trade are the Wolves, because I think a D'Lo for Ben Simmons trade would be good for both sides. I think D'Angelo Russell fits probably really well with the 76ers, and they could get some picks as well, because does Ben Simmons make the Wolves a playoff team? Maybe, but if not, the Sixers could get a lottery pick in exchange if they get a first-round pick. The second team, I think the Blazers still have a good package. I think C.J. McCollum for Ben Simmons works for both sides. C.J. McCollum and 2 first-round picks for Ben Simmons, I think, would be a great deal for both teams. And then the third sleeper team is, I think, a Colin Sexton for Ben Simmons trade wouldn't be terrible for either side. They'd have to give up more than just Colin Sexton, but that's my sleeper pick. And I also don't think Ben Simmons wants to be in Cleveland, but he doesn't have a choice. So
now I hope he gets traded to Cleveland out of spite. Yeah, because I believe he might have told the Sixers that he was planning to sit out, because I've seen that they plan to fine him if he does.
Training camp, yeah.
Like, dude, that's your job. You show up to work.
Yeah.
You signed a contract. That's your job.
Yeah, Ben Simmons, absolute clown. Rich Paul wants Tyrese Maxey out too. We don't have to get into Rich Paul, but
Rich Paul's the worst. A whole mess. The NBA needs to put like a cap on how many players an agent can represent.
You're tired of Rich Paul?
Well, he controls the league behind the curtain. It's outrageous.
He does, Loki.
I mean, you could attribute all these free agents that signed the Lakers to Rich Paul for the minimum. Yeah. Malik Monk, I don't know if he's represented by him or not, but regardless, dude takes a minimum deal to go play on that team when he had some kind of market at least.
Malik Monk could have gotten like 10 mil, I think, if the right team. The money did dry up really fast though this year. Like, it dried up so quickly, which is brutal. But
I'm the biggest advocate of guys taking pay cuts, but when I say guys should take pay cuts, it's the guys that are the best players on the team so they can have more help, not the help taking pay cuts to go win for free.
Yeah, that Lakers team is weird. They're so good, though. I think they're going to be really good.
I don't know how good they're going to be. We're going to disagree on it. I just need to see it first. I don't know how well Westbrook fits next to LeBron. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Oh, you mean,
I agree.
That's the common take, but it's true. It's like, is he going to kick it out to Westbrook to throw it off the side of the backboard? I mean, how long before that gets old? LeBron's not a very good shooter either.
No, but knowing our luck, they're both going to shoot like 35% from 3 miraculously this season.
They all of a sudden start trying, right?
Yep. Last piece of little NBA news: Eric Gordon and John Wall both want trades, which wild. Do you want John Wall? I'm seeing your face, or do you just think it's funny that he wants out now? It's definitely
hilarious.
Weird. Yeah.
And I don't really think it's him wanting out. I think it's more funny that the Rockets think somebody's going to trade for him.
Yeah. Because
he makes $40 million.
The only trade I could possibly see is Kevin Love for John Wall, and I don't think either team that's worth it for either team. That's like contractually, that's the only thing I can think of, though. You know what I'm saying? Like,
that's miserable. I don't think. I don't know. I don't know what the solution is, because then they'll buy him out and he'll go join, like Brooklyn or.
They said they're not going to buy him out. They said that they will not buy him out.
What do they think they're going to get for him?
I don't know, but he's not playing.
That's
I don't
comical.
think he's going to play.
Like, first of all, he should have to play. He should. Yeah. He should.
Well, I think
they shouldn't be allowed to sit him either.
Yeah, I think the Rockets are saying like nah, and he's like nah, which is weird, but yeah.
He's done nothing since 2017 to.
He had a good season last year. Like, low-key, he had a pretty good season last year, which is impressive. Like, it's not, obviously it wasn't. Well, it's not $40 million. It's not $40 million, season, but
I think signing just about anybody in the league to over like $30 million is a bad deal.
Yeah, they're very few. Last season, John Wall averaged 20.6 points, 7 assists on 40% and 32% split. So it wasn't good, but he's not like he's useless. You know what I'm saying? It's just he's on the deal, and he's on the deal for the next 2 or 3 seasons too. Like, it's not like it's the last year. I think. Which is brutal. And then Eric Gordon's making around 16, 17, 18 mil the next 3 seasons.
That one's like more tradable because it's less money than John Wall. It's still not a good contract.
Yeah.
but like it's not $40 million.
I agree.
I mean, the Celtics have a trade exception of that, right?
Yeah, they do. You're
I mean,
right.
he could fit. Like they could get him for like nothing. Like there are situations where teams wouldn't give anything up for him. John Wall, nobody's sitting around with a $40 million trade exception.
Yeah.
You're going to have to
Actually,
send back a
Eric Gordon's
contract.
just outside the trade
Is he?
exception now. Yeah, he's 18.2.
Okay. Well,
Brutal.
I'm sure somebody's got one laying around.
I don't think so. I think the Celtics have
Oh,
the biggest trade exception in the league, to be
it's
honest,
tough then.
which is
Tough
weird.
for Houston. I don't know what they're doing with that. It just doesn't. Who are they trying to convince?
I don't
Even
know.
like Gordon is still more of a realistic person to get traded than John Wall. The John Wall thing is just like
There's no
ridiculous.
shot. There's no shot. No
Nobody
chance he
wanted to
gets
trade for
traded.
him when Houston gave him Westbrook.
Yeah.
The only reason that happened is because nobody wanted either of those guys.
hmm
So they swapped him.
Big dub for the Wizards, to be honest. Huge W
Well, yeah,
the way
because
that
they
turned
turned him
out.
into something.
Exactly. Exactly.
Like essentially, they turned John Wall into Kuzma and a bunch of other guys.
Kuzma, Pope, Harrell, a rookie. I think they got Corey Kispert out of that deal. They might have gotten Aaron Holiday too in a deal with the Pacers, which was a big deal. They got a lot of value for him. The fact that the Wizards got Aaron Holiday for basically nothing is kind of wild to me. I don't know what the Pacers are doing, but yeah, the Wizards big dub in that regard, I think. The last piece of NBA news is actually something you told me I did not know about. Kyrie Irving apparently making some sort of comments. Would you like to enlighten me?
Yeah. I mean, it's a smart thing on his part, but from what I understand, well, this is what happened. I'll start with this. He came out and said, this is according to Nick Wright, that if the Nets were to trade him, he would retire. So he has solidified that he will be in Brooklyn. There must have been rumblings of some sort that he could be traded. I mean, that must mean Durant is no longer like all in on him.
I think the organization, I read this at the end of last season, was just sick of his antics, which I mean, fair enough.
Who wouldn't be?
Yeah, but
I'm sick of it,
yeah,
and I'm not even them.
I think that's where it stemmed from. But I don't, there's no shot he gets traded now, and I don't think there was a
Well,
shot he
now
got
there's
traded
definitely
before.
not.
Yeah, like what would a Kyrie Irving package look like even? Like what would they want?
Ben
Like
Simmons.
that'd be terrible for Brooklyn, and you know it. That'd be horrendous.
Well, I
Uh,
mean, that's a deal that Philly would want. So let's
yeah,
start
yeah.
it there. Because
True.
Philly doesn't really want any deals that are out there. They
It's
don't.
because
Otherwise, they would
no
have
one
made a
wants Ben
trade.
Simmons. Yeah, that whole
But
Ben Simmons thing is weird. I don't like it.
if
I don't
someone
care.
retires, do they like relieve your cap?
I think so. Yeah.
So like that, maybe you trade John Wall for Kyrie. Perhaps you trade Ben Simmons. I mean that if even if he retires and they really want to get rid of Simmons,
Yeah.
that's like a W because that's 4 years of like max money they just freed up.
Kind of. I don't know if it technically works that way, but they might free up some money.
It
Also,
would never
LaMarcus
happen.
Aldridge back. What the fuck? Magically.
That's weird too. I mean,
I mean,
good for
I'm
him, I
happy
guess. It's
for
a
him.
health
Yeah, I'm
thing.
happy for him, but
He shouldn't be allowed.
definitely
I mean,
odd.
he was already on that team. They need to change the buyout rules.
Yeah. They have his rights. It was fair. It was just like
No,
weird
it is
what
fair.
happened.
It's fair, but I mean beforehand.
Yeah, yeah, 100%.
Then Blake Griffin comes out and says that
The Celtics started the super team
this.
era.
Well, no, not that, because that's kind of true. But the problem is,
Is it
he said
true?
it was the same as what LeBron did, which is not.
Yes, it's not the same.
That's
I
the
agree.
problem. Did
It's
they start the super team era? Probably not, but they started the big three era where you
yeah.
get three guys.
The difference is the Celtics fairly traded for those guys. I mean, everyone's like, "Oh, Kevin McHale gave his former team whatever." They still made
They
trades to
still
do
gave
it.
up the farm for that trade.
Meanwhile, LeBron James and Dwayne Wade were like, "Yo, let's
Yeah,
go
they said,
hang
"Hey,
out in
let's all go
Miami."
play together."
Yeah, very different.
There's a difference between the front office having to actually do something than well, it's the team making it happen versus three players making it happen.
Yeah, which I mean, whatever. I really don't give a shit about the whole big like whatever. You wanted to play together, it worked. So I'm not gonna say anything. It doesn't matter to me. Whatever. But it's definitely not the same. I agree. It's not the same.
And if you
Uh,
want to See, when you say like you're not sure the Celtics started the super teams, are you saying it goes before the Celtics, or do you contend that the Heat was the start of it?
I'd probably say the Heat were the start of this
Okay.
player-driven super team era.
Yeah,
But
okay.
in terms
That's
of
what I was
the
going
big
towards.
three, the Celtics probably started the era
Yeah,
of like, okay, you need a
the
big three to
Heat
win,
paved
but
the
the Heat
way
started the
for
player thing.
players to start
Yes.
saying, "Let's all go play together," because that
Yeah.
wasn't really heard of before that.
hmm
So yes, yeah, I agree.
And I will say that Cavs team was a super team, but they formed it fairly. I'll give them credit. That LeBron
Yeah,
Cavs
they
team,
did.
they formed that
They
fairly.
had to trade for Love. LeBron signed back, and
And
that
Kyrie was
was
already there.
and Kyrie was there, so that's fine. The Warriors built their team besides
hmm
KD, but even then they had their team 73-9
That
without
Miami team might be the only
Brooklyn,
Brooklyn. Yeah,
the
Brooklyn was
Lakers.
whack. The Lakers was whack.
Well,
But
the
neither
Lakers
of
wasn't as whack because they still had to trade the farm for Davis.
yeah, but he forced his way to that single. But in fairness, though, that was the best package they probably could have gotten,
Yeah,
realistically. Like the Celtics, maybe, but I
Celtics
don't think
weren't
they
willing to
were
really.
exactly give up what they needed. Trying to think. I'm just going over past champions. The Raptors.
Raptors
That
have to
was
be the
fair.
worst team to have won a title
Yeah,
in a
I'm
long
actually
time.
funny you say that. For my grad program, I'm exploring the last 50 championships, collecting data for my data research analytics class, and determining what was the best, like the championship that was the hardest for the team to win in the last 50 years, and the easiest one. I'm basing it off of how good they were in the regular season, offensive, defensive rating, RPI, which will determine like their playoff path, like how hard their playoff opponents were, star power factor, which is a statistic I made up to determine like the stars on their team. So I'll share the findings once I finish that. It'll be a little while, but uh, yeah. The first thing I noticed, the Celtics. So I'm looking at adjust or relative offensive and defensive rating, which is basically how good your defense was compared to the rest of the league that season. 2008 Boston Celtics, best defense of the last 50 championships.
Yeah, I mean they were set up that way.
Better than the Pistons of 03, better than the Bulls in 96. Like that's impressive. That
It
like
is impressive.
ridiculous. That caught me off guard. Definitely caught me off guard. Do you have any more NBA news that you have, or do you want to jump into these ESPN predictions?
No, we can go into ESPN.
All right. Do you want to start with awards predictions, MVP finals, etc.? Do you want to start with win-loss records, or do you want to start with team turmoil and team turnaround and pressing questions?
I guess we can do the record last because that's probably where we're gonna have the most to discuss.
Okay. So do you want to do awards or trade turmoil stuff first?
The last thing.
All right. So
Trade.
you want to do trade turmoil first?
Yeah.
All right. Uh, team turnaround. Let me read this. Which team is poised to bounce back or improve the
That's
most
a good
this season
question.
from last season? Do you want to guess, or do you want
Improve
me to
the
just tell you?
most.
Yep.
Maybe Miami is what they have
They're second. Yep.
second. I think the Celtics should be up there. They're probably not first, but they should
They're
be up
fourth.
there.
They're fourth.
Let's go out
First
west.
one,
Golden
don't
State.
overthink. Yep. Bingo.
Yeah,
Number one. The
and
Bulls
that's
also
true.
up there.
Yeah, Chicago had a
Lakers.
good offseason.
Lakers up
Lakers.
there. Raptors, Timberwolves, Pacers, Hornets are the last ones rounding out the top nine. All makes sense. All makes sense. Where drama looms. Let me read this. I have to read the paragraph. The Philadelphia 76ers earned the top spot for team turmoil as
Oh
our
yeah.
experts predict which teams will be surrounded by the most
Oh
drama
yeah.
this season. What are the other teams? So Sixers won
So
by
Philly's
far.
definitely number one.
Yep.
Um, this is a sleeper one, but I think not the Raptors, I'm sorry, the Pelicans are going to be sneaky in there because
They're
of the
fifth.
Zion. Yeah.
They're fifth.
Um, let's see. What are the teams? I think Milwaukee could be up there just because they won a title.
Nope. Nothing for
The
Milwaukee.
Lakers are probably one. The Clippers are definitely one.
Lakers are second on this list. Clippers are fourth on this list.
Yep.
You're
Celtics might be
missing
on there.
3, 6, and 7, and it's not the Celtics.
That's good. That was I sure hope not kind of thing. Oh, Brooklyn. Jeez, Brooklyn.
No, not
No?
Brooklyn. No. Do you
That they're
want me to
wrong on
tell
that
you?
one.
I'll tell you the last three. Bulls are third. Trailblazers are six. Timberwolves are seven. Those two make sense. Bulls is a
Yeah.
little weird to me, but I feel like
Well,
they
that's just
could
because they have moving parts.
feel like they could low-key trade Zach LaVine if things don't go well. Call me crazy.
I wonder if it's even going to go well for them. They have a lot of good, solid players, but like, do they all fit together?
It's
You would
weird.
contend that DeRozan sucks, and I tend to agree.
It's weird. He'll probably be
Lonzo,
okay, but Lonzo's good. I like Lonzo a lot.
Lonzo's good, but I don't know like if it makes sense for him to be playing there.
That backcourt is perfect, I will say. The defense of Lonzo, the offense of Zach LaVine, I think Lonzo's defense will cover up Zach really well. Next up, we have how many more titles for the Lakers with LeBron on the roster? And you don't
I
even
don't
have to
even know why
guess.
I
Yeah,
think it's
it's
0.
0 is 15% of the votes. 1 is 85% of the votes. So
I don't think they're gonna win again.
here you go. How many titles for the Nets with KD, Harden, and Kyrie?
See, I think they might get the next 2.
Okay, 0 is 5%, so no one thinks that. 1 is 70%. 2 is 25%.
I hope it's only 1. I would like to see them not win.
Yep. What
I just
team
think
is Ben
KD's too
Simmons?
good.
Yeah, no, it's. I think they'll get at least 1. What team is Ben Simmons on to start the season?
Well, it's going to be Philadelphia. They're not going to trade him.
Yep. And then there's 1, 2, 3,
Timberwolves are
4,
probably
5,
up there.
6 more teams on this list. Timberwolves are 4th. There's 2 tied for 2nd and 3 tied for 5th. One's pretty obvious. It's a
Okay.
team we went over.
So Portland's one of them.
Yep.
Minnesota was one of them. We already talked about that.
Yep. These
What
last
other
4 are
team?
kind of weird. Very weird. One of them's a California team that has been brought up.
Warriors.
Rumblings. No.
No?
Random California team. Like
Sacramento?
Yeah.
That'd be fire. If he got sent there, he'd be so miserable. But Fox, they probably don't want to give up Fox.
Last 3 you won't get, so I'm just gonna enlighten you. The Bulls are one of them, which I don't understand. Maybe a Zach LaVine swap, but I feel like that'd be stupid. The Magic, which I think you would love because he'd waste away in Orlando.
He'd waste away. Good.
The
like
Pelicans.
No, I think guys that, even though to be fair to Ben Simmons, a lot of the issues that have led to this controversy are not entirely his attitude's fault. He played poorly in the playoffs, so that led him to be thrown under the bus, deservedly so. I mean,
deservedly so.
Really bad. But he's not just forcing his way out to be a diva. Yeah. Like, it's like the bridges have been burned, and it's not.
100%.
He's not the only one that burned the bridges.
I agree. I do think he's overrated a little bit. He's still an all-star, but I think he's overrated.
I don't know if he's an all-star.
Fair enough. That was it for the team turmoil. The Pelicans were the last team for the Simmons thing. So we can move on to award predictions. I think this will be a little bit.
If they really wanted Simmons, they could go for it, I guess. They got some good stuff to offer up there. But
what would they give, though?
Like Ingram. Like, if they were really in on him, like, they could give up, like, Ingram or...
Yeah, I guess. Talk about putting no shooting around Zion, though.
Yeah. No, it wouldn't be a good fit.
They really wanted
it would be something.
I mean, they could give up, like... If they wanted to pay low, they could give up Satoransky, Devontae Graham, and Josh Hart. I don't think the Sixers would do that.
Sixers, like, hang up the phone.
Yeah.
They are so picky, and, like, if I was a Sixers fan, I would want them to be picky.
I agree. But
because I don't think...
At some point, you got to do it, because if he's not going to play, you need something, right?
Honestly, I mean, from the team perspective, you have to.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, somebody's just going to do it out of spite and just let him sit there and not play.
Yeah.
One of these guys that wants to leave, that's under contract for 4 seasons, like he has any say, go ahead, don't get paid. Sit out and don't get paid.
Yeah. Very true. Very true.
Like, if they were bad, like, if they didn't have Embiid and Harris there and that could legitimately, compete, I would 1,000% say, let him sit. Like, if I'm Houston, not that this is really John Wall forcing his way out, it's more of the team.
Yeah.
But, like, I would have him sit if that was the case. I wouldn't care. I'd say, go ahead, sit out, buddy.
That'd be hilarious. They just tell Ben Simmons we don't need you. Next up,
sit there, get fined, and don't get paid. Absolutely. Okay.
I got who will win NBA MVP. There are 9 players that received votes. 2 players are overwhelmingly in first place.
I believe.
Actually, that's a lie. 3 players are overwhelmingly at the top of the list.
Embiid is up there, I think.
Embiid is 4th.
No,
14
Doncic
points.
is one of them.
He is 3rd, 35 points.
They probably have LeBron up there because they love him, and Davis is
7th.
Also up there.
LeBron is 7th. Anthony Davis is 9th, I believe.
He's okay. So who else? They probably don't have Jokic repeating.
Jokic is 8th. There's a category called others receiving votes, and that's Jokic and AD.
I read this too. I was the one that read this. I mean, you might have read it too, but I was the one that was like, we should do
I have
this.
not read this.
And I have no idea.
Number 1's in the East. You should get it. You should definitely get it.
Oh,
He's
Giannis,
the best player.
Jesus.
He's second. He's second.
The best
Number
player.
1's the best player in the world.
KD.
Yeah, number
okay.
1.
KD, Giannis. Jeez, I sound really bad. I swear I'm not dumb if you're a first time listener. Fourth is
KD,
Embiid.
Giannis, Luka, Joel. 5 is my sleeper pick to win it.
Which is
East.
East. Jeez, who else from the East could win? It's not Tatum.
Same team as Durant.
Oh, Harden?
Yeah, it's my sleeper. I think he'll have I think he'll average like 22 points and 15 assists next season. I think he'll average some like stupid assist number.
Like
something.
That's
stupid.
like unheard of. 15 assists.
It's John Stockton.
It's fair. No, like he's got the weapons to do it. Let's see. We said LeBron 7, Davis is 9. Who's 6, Sam? Who is it? Is it Lillard?
No. Say right conference, right position though.
Oh, Curry. Curry's gonna get there.
Yeah, 6. Durant, Giannis, Luka, Embiid, Harden, Curry, LeBron, then Jokic and Davis are down there.
Tatum not on the list.
Sense. Yeah, but with this talent, it's tough. He's like a sleeper. He'd probably be like 10th or 11th.
I looked when I read this, like after reading this, I went on like the Twin River Sportsbook app to see if I could bet, and they don't have MVP up. But if you're a bettor, the odds are going to be crazy because he's not even on this list. I think that's a good bet if you're going to bet on somebody to win MVP for bang for your buck. You can probably bet $5 and win like over 100 if he wins.
Yeah, he'd probably have really good odds.
And I think he's got a fair shot at it because of the situation. Depending on how well the team plays, I think he could for sure win MVP.
I think my pick's going to be Luka next year. I think the Mavs are going to be a top 5 team in the West, and he's just going to go berserk. Like, he's going to have to do something crazy, but I think he will.
I wonder who my real pick is.
I think Doncic is probably
I don't think Tatum is like a legit pick. I think it's a fair pick, but I don't know if it's I think Durant's a fair one. I also think it could be Curry because Warriors are going to have that big improvement, and he's going to get a lot of the credit.
Clay's not going to be back till like December though, so they're gonna have to will their way.
If I was a Warriors fan, I'd be so mad that Clay's not back yet. It's been 2 years.
It's been a minute. It has been a minute. I mean, he's been injured twice, which is brutal. He got re-injured.
But I mean, it's only December. Season starts October 20th is first game for everybody.
Something like that. Yeah, something like that.
Oh,
we got Rookie of the Year up next. Do you want to guess this, or you want me to run down the list?
Jalen Green is first, and Dude is second. Cunningham is second. That I know.
Dude. I'll run down the rest. Jalen Suggs is third. Evan Mobley's fourth. Scotty Barnes fifth. Josh Giddey sixth. Davion Mitchell seventh. I've been talking Josh Giddey for a long time now. Just wanted to point that out. I've been talking a lot of Josh Giddey.
That Thunder team, man. I don't know what they're going to do. I think they're going to have to trade these guys for somebody eventually. I think they're going to have too many players. Like too many younger guys. You know what I'm saying? You need somebody that's established eventually. No, it's not going to be now.
They have Derek Favors, but I think they're going to trade him.
Derek Favors.
Yeah.
What a player he is.
Exactly. They'll figure it out. They've got enough young pieces.
Just like they have Shea, they have Giddey now. I believe that they have the Celtics pick, so they have somebody else. They have a bunch of young guys last year. I mean, they have so many young players on their team. It's crazy.
Yeah, I think they traded the 16th overall pick, and the Rockets took Alperen Şengün.
Okay.
Well, they have Trey Mann as well. They have Jeremiah Robinson Earl. They got Lou Dort. Lou Dort's still there.
Lou Dort is still younger, yeah.
Poku, Alexis Pukaszewski.
Yeah, big skeleton.
Teo Maladon is good. Kenrich Williams, I like. Darius Baisley.
Kendrick Williams, or Kendrick, whatever his name is. He's got the black dude mullet. It's crazy.
Yeah, he's wild. He's good, though. I really like Kendrick Williams. I think he'd be great on any team that's competing in the NBA. We got Coach of the Year predictions next. Do you know anything about this?
Number one, I don't remember who number. I know Udoka is 3.
Udoka is 3rd. 1 and 2 are both East. Both East.
It's not Nash and it's not Budenholzer. I don't think it's Doc Rivers either.
Nash is 2nd.
Nash is second. Okay. Doc Rivers is not one of them, I don't think.
No.
It's somebody else. It's not Spoelstra either.
Yep. Yeah.
Oh, it is Spoelstra?
Yeah, Spoelstra's first.
I thought it wasn't Spoelstra. I don't know. Dumbass.
Spoelstra's one. You want to
Okay.
keep guessing? You want me to run down the list? There's a lot.
Doc Rivers is on there somewhere.
No, sir.
No, not at all.
He's not even in the others receiving votes
Come on,
category.
Monty Williams is up there.
He is sixth. Yep.
Budenholzer's probably up there.
Budenholzer is at the end of the others
Vogel
receiving
is
votes
probably
list.
up there.
Vogel's tied for eighth.
They love the Lakers. Nate McMillan's up there.
He is tied for eighth as well.
What am I missing? 5, 6.
You're missing 4, 5, 7, another 8, and then a bunch that are just tied for, receiving votes or whatever.
Steve Kerr's up there.
Yep, seventh.
Okay.
I don't think you'll get 5. You should get 4.
I should get 4.
8.
That's not good.
You might not get 8.
Nick Nurse definitely isn't up there because that team's not going to be any good.
Nope. 4 is Western Conference. Good team. Really good team. Not a good playoff team, though.
Not a good playoff team, but a good team.
Regular season team.
It's not the Clippers.
Nope. 1 seed last year.
Utah. Quinn Snyder.
Yep, Snyder's 4th.
Okay.
5 is a very young team in the West.
Pelicans or?
Close. Not Pels.
Oh, Memphis.
Yep. Do you know his
coaches?
Taylor Jenkins. 8th is an Eastern Conference team that didn't make the playoffs last year.
Chicago. It's
Nope.
No, it's not Chicago.
He's other receiving votes though. That's Billy Donovan.
Billy Donovan.
Others receiving votes are Ty Lue, Billy Donovan, James Borrego, Mike Malone, Chauncey Billups, Jason Kidd, Willie Green, Mike Budenholzer.
I forgot Chauncey Billups is a coach now.
You're still missing one though. Tied for 8th.
Boy.
New coach in the East.
New coach.
Well,
if it's a new coach, I definitely don't know.
Not a new coach, but a new coach on the new team.
Lloyd Pierce?
No, he's not a head coach right now.
He's not. I thought the Pacers signed him. Who is it? The Pacers coach?
Yeah, it's the Pacers coach. You're gonna kick yourself if you don't get this. You know who this person is. 100%.
It's definitely somebody I know their name. It's Carlisle.
Yeah, Rick Carlisle. There you go. Yeah, those are the top 10 for Coach of the Year. Spoelstra 1, Nash, Udoka. I'm telling you, Udoka's a sleeper pick. Celtics are good. He wins. I think he could.
Dude,
really
there's a lot of sleeper stuff regarding the Celtics, depending on their team success.
100%.
Tatum's season that he can have in terms of what his narrative is so wide right now. It can be if they really underperform, he's a cancer, can't lead a team. He'll never be able to be the best player on a team. They need to get rid of him. They need to bring in some leadership, whatever. And if they do well, he could literally win MVP.
Yeah, it's a very wide variety of outcomes. We got Defensive Player of the Year next. Do you know anything about this?
Gobert is number 1.
Yep.
Simmons is probably on there, even though he's not going to. He's dragging his feet.
Simmons is 6th.
Yeah. 2 is. It's not Embiid.
Nope, he's 5th though.
He's on there. Davis is on there.
He is 2. Yep.
Oh boy, Giannis has to be on there.
He's 3rd. Yep.
Kawhi has to. Oh, Kawhi's not playing, so no.
Nope, no Kawhi.
Why am I blanking?
You're missing 4, 7, and then others receiving votes.
Did I get
Paul
number
George. 2? Yeah, AD. Others receiving votes are
Davis.
Paul George, Miles Turner, DeAndre Ayton, Drew Holiday, Clint Capella. Right now, you're missing 4 and 7. One in the West, one
on there?
in the
Did they sneak? I know Marcus isn't on there.
No Alonzo.
Marcus wasn't on there. I remember I was pissed. He didn't even receive other votes.
Yeah, no. 2 big men, but one's a forward.
What's a forward? Draymond?
Yep, he's 4th. 7 is a center.
Is a center.
Sleeper pick for me. I think he has a real good chance to win it.
Good chance. Did you say Capella already?
He's others receiving votes.
He's others. Okay. Who else is a center that could get it? I always feel like I'm blanking.
I'd argue he's the second best defender.
Oh, is it Bam?
All around defender. Yep, big.
Yeah,
Bam.
it's Bam.
Love Bam.
Okay.
Elite. He's so.
Bam's pain.
He's one of 2 people that can guard 1 through 5. Him and Simmons, I think, are the only 2 that can do that. Draymond in his prime, but not anymore. Six man of the 6 man of the year.
Clarkson's up there.
Yes, sir. Number 1.
He's number 1. Schroeder's on there somewhere. He's
Schroeder's
others
others.
receiving. Yeah.
His others receiving.
I think he has a good shot, depending what his role ends up being. Who knows what that could be.
I do too. I
Other good bench players. Damn, man. Patty Mills has to be on there.
He's others. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Trying to think, like, this is where I really start, like, fading out, because I don't know.
Second is East, Atlantic.
Atlantic Division. It's not Brooklyn.
Nope. Right State.
Someone on the Knicks?
Yeah, you should get it. The guard.
Guard on the Knicks.
You should definitely get this one. You're going to kick yourself.
I'm just trying to think.
Sam. He was free.
Kemba?
No. Kemba's going to start.
He was free. Oh, Derrick Rose.
Yep. Bingo.
Okay. I forgot he's on the Knicks.
Third place is on the same team as first place.
Third place is on the same team as first place. First place is Utah, so it's got to be Ingles or Bogdanovich.
Jingles. I think the Celtics should trade for Jingles. That's my sleeper.
Does he fit in the exception?
Yes, sir, he does. And he's off the books at the end of the season.
And he's white, Jack. We can get all excited about that, right?
All right, that's
Celtics fans.
Well,
that's what Kyrie says.
He what was I going to say? He's off the books at the end of the season, and the Jazz were looking to trade him to free up cap space. So
yeah, no, he'd be really good to have, and it provides wing depth. The wing depth you're not going to get from Romeo, where I think I was kind of counting on it to come from.
Mm-hmm. Number 4, Eastern Conference. I believe they are Southeast Division.
Southeast must be someone out of Charlotte or
nope. I think they're Southeast. They should be.
If you think they're Southeast, it's got to be Washington.
Nope. They're
it's not one of the
Southeast.
Florida teams.
Nope. Big run last year.
Oh, Atlanta. It's going to be. Oh, who is? It's not Bogdanovich.
Nope.
Who else on that team? This is really Lou Williams.
Nope.
No. It's
Redhead.
not Lou Williams.
Redhead. I'll give it away.
Oh, her.
Yeah,
they have him coming off the bench.
Yep, for Bogdanovich, they'll start DeAndre Hunter, Gallinari, or not Gallinari. They'll start John Collins. Number 5 is California team. The irrelevant California team.
Sacramento?
Yeah.
Who's on Sacramento that's going to come off the bench?
Well, Buddy's going to start.
Is it Halliburton?
Yeah.
He's
got Reese at 5th. Yeah, that's a fair vote. Number 6 is Southeast. I think this is another good sleeper.
Hero?
Yep.
Yeah.
Bingo. Number 7 is California team. I assumed this guy would start, but it makes sense that he's coming off the bench.
Bledsoe?
Bingo, yeah.
Yeah.
Off rip. Good guess. Others receiving votes were Kendrick Nunn, Carmelo Anthony, Goran Dragic, Dennis Schroeder, Talon Horton-Tucker, Caruso, Patty Mills. So 3 Lakers in there and the others.
That's outrageous.
Most improved. This will be fun. There's a ton of others. We'll go over those at the end. But number 1 for most improved. What are you thinking?
There's somebody on this list when I was reading it that like they're already good. Like they have no business being on this list.
Zion.
Yeah. I think it was Zion. It was like all right. It's Marcus Smart is not on the list.
Nope. No Celtics on this list.
I think Marcus should 1,000% be on that list. I think he's a good pick for that too.
Yeah, you could.
Lonzo is on there.
Lonzo is others.
Is Zach LaVine on there?
No, Zach. Number 1's in the West.
In the West.
Northwest.
Is it Anthony Edwards or?
Nope. Anthony
Edwards. He's on the
5th.
list though.
He's 5th, yeah. Northwest.
Denver. Porter Jr. That's who it is.
Yep. Bingo. Number 1. Number 2 is in the Northwest as well, even though they should probably be in a different division, but I don't know where they'd be put because they're just in the middle of nowhere.
Is it Memphis?
No.
Ja's on the list. He's tied with Zion.
Ja is on the list. He's down at the bottom. Yeah, and then you got. Yep.
Is it? It's on somebody else on Denver.
No.
Utah.
No.
No. Let's go through the Northwest Division. Portland, Memphis, Oklahoma City, and it's going to be SGA.
Yep, SGA. That's the answer. Number 3 is Southwest Division. Texas team.
Who would be Luka?
This is actually a really good pick. No, not Luka. I think this is maybe my pick to win it.
Is it Dallas?
Nope.
It's not Dallas. Christian Wood?
Nope. Red team though.
Jesus, who else is on this team? Oh, Kevin Porter.
Yep. I think that's a really good pick. Christian Wood's others, by the way. Okay. Next up, you got Edwards. He was 5th. 4th is another rookie from last year, who I don't think will win it because rookies don't win it, or second-year players don't usually win it. Don't overthink it.
LaMelo.
Yeah. 6th is on the same team as tied for 7th. Not the Pels.
Jaren Jackson.
Yep. Jaren Jackson. And that rounds it out. Others receiving votes were De'Aaron Fox, Reggie Jackson, Terrence Mann, Fred VanVleet, Christian Wood, Malcolm Brogdon, Mikal Bridges, Lonzo Ball, Colin Sexton, Darius Garland, Tyrese Halliburton. Lots of votes for most improved. Who will win the Eastern Conference Finals, Sam?
Brooklyn is up there like really high.
Overwhelmingly,
but somebody
yes.
picked the Celtics. There's one person.
Somebody did pick the Celtics.
I wonder who it was.
Nets, Bucks, Heat, Sixers, Celtics, Hawks. Celtics, Hawks both tied with 1 point. Heat above the Sixers is something I think is correct, but I think people will disagree with that. I think Celtics above Sixers is also valid, but I don't know. Western Conference, Sam.
The Lakers are number 1 because they love them.
Yep. Overwhelming.
Phoenix is probably second because they made the finals.
3.
The Warriors aren't second, are they?
They're 5th.
Is Utah?
Yep. Second.
Utah's second?
Yep.
Dallas is up there somewhere.
They're 6. They got the least amount of points, but they're on the board.
Denver's up there.
Yep, that's it. You got them all. Lakers, Jazz, Suns, Nuggets, Warriors, Mavs. That gets them all. Let's see. Who will win the title?
I think they have the Nets as the favorite.
Overwhelming favorites.
Yeah, and then the Lakers are second.
Yep. And
then it's all like nobody. Denver
Bucks,
has
Sixers,
a vote.
Bucks, Sixers, Heat, Suns, Utah, Denver. Yep.
The win predictions is what I was interested in because they have the Celtics at 47. Do you think they're going to do better than that, or do you think?
I think that's a very fair prediction, in my opinion. I think that's a super fair prediction.
I think they might get more than that. I think they're absolutely going to get more than 47. I think they had a really down season last year. Bad taste in everybody's mouths. They've done nothing but improve the roster.
I think 50 is the ceiling, in my opinion, for the Celtics.
50. I think 50 is a good goal. I think
that's too high. I think 45 to 50 is the sweet spot, and 47 to 45 is realistic.
45 is only like 4 games over 500. That's I don't know. I have high expectations for him this season.
45 is 8 games over 500. Or right? It's maybe it's 4. Yeah, okay.
Games
it's 45 and 37. It's not a terrible record though.
It's not.
It's just there's so much talent around the league. Like there's just a lot of really good teams. Like I think the Nets are going to be better than the Celtics. I think the Bucks are going to be better than the Celtics. I think the Heat are going to be better than the Celtics.
And that's it.
I think the Sixers have a chance. I don't think they will be. I think they'll be around where the Celtics are.
I think the Celtics are on the same level as Miami, but I think Miami's better.
I predicted excuse me. I predicted the Eastern Conference standings for all you can Heat, and I had the Celtics tied for 5th with the Sixers.
So who else was above?
Or tied for 4th. Sorry, okay. Tied for 4th. I had them both at 46 and 36, the Celtics and Philadelphia.
Okay.
And then I had Miami at 49 wins, Milwaukee at 51 wins, Brooklyn at 54 wins.
I think the Celtics are going to, well, I mean, their schedule says they should come out hot. They play New York, and then they play Toronto. They play Charlotte a couple times in there. Like they play a bunch of teams they should be able to beat. So if they want to capitalize on that, maybe they mess around and have a really good season. I don't know. And they still have to play everybody. That's how schedules work. But they could come out, get some nice confidence underneath their sails, and start running through teams. They should start 8-0. I don't think they should lose to New York on opening night. They might. I went through it at work one day, and I got to 8 and I think they play Milwaukee,
which is tough.
And I think that'll be the one they lose.
Yeah, it's tough. The ESPN, has. I'm going to do the West first because it's right in front of me. They have Utah as number 1, which I think is crazy. Lakers at 2, Suns 3, Nuggets 4, Mavs 5, Warriors 6. Then they have Clippers, Blazers, Grizzlies, Pelicans. I agree. But, I mean, they have talented teams above them. I think the Jazz are going to have a big fall off this season. I think the Nuggets are going to be a little down this year because no Jamal. Excuse me. But the rest seems pretty fair to me. Past that, the East, they have... Oh, wait, is this just the West, or did I skip past the East? Yeah, wait, this is just the Western Conference. Did they not release the East yet?
Is it, like, up further? Because I saw it, because they have the Celtics at 47.
Let me find it really quick. Apparently, it's not on the same page. Yep, here we go. Eastern Conference, they got Nets, Bucks, Sixers, Heat, Hawks, Celtics. I don't think there's any shot the Sixers get 50 wins this season. I think that's crazy.
No way.
They have the Hawks above the Celtics too, which I think is a little disrespectful. Like the Hawks are going to be good.
No, I think it's disrespectful too, but I think the Hawks earned it. So
yeah, the Hawks are good. Play-in group, they have the Knicks, Hornets, Bulls, Pacers. Makes sense. I think the Raptors, Wizards, and Pacers are going to be fighting for that last play-in spot, to be honest.
I don't know about the Wizards. I think the Wizards might be give it a go and then throw in the towel.
They could. I mean, they just got Rick Carlisle, though, which is weird.
The Wizards?
Oh, sorry, the Wizards. I think the Pacers could give it a go and throw in the towel.
I do, too.
I think they should be, but I don't think they will.
You could see Beal get traded mid-season.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. It's just tough. It's tough. I think ESPN definitely underrated the Celtics, though. That's all I have for today. Is there anything else you wanted to talk about before we get out of here?
I think training camp starts this upcoming week. Am I right?
I think so. I think
we'll have some things to discuss next week. We won't be reading people's articles and telling you about them.
It's a good show, though. We went over some fun things. Yeah. That's all I had for today. Like I said, unless you have anything, we can give it a wrap right here.
No, I'm good.
Good. Well, with that, thank you guys all for listening. From the Rafters, make sure you go check it out on YouTube as well. We'll be back again next week with another episode. You guys can follow me at Jack Simone NBA. You can follow Sam at Sam LaFrance NBA. Bannertown USA for us on Twitter. And Sam, go ahead.
Yeah, give all the accounts a follow. Like Jack said, if you're watching, like, share, subscribe to the Bannertown channel. I don't know how many people we got. If you're on whatever podcast app.
Just over 50 on YouTube right now. We're on 54.
Oh, look at that.
Subs.
Rate us well on the podcast app. If you have any guests you would particularly like us to try and get, you can leave them as comments or tweet at us or whatever. But yeah, give us follows, and that's it. That's our show today, Bye.